Me personally, I would not add water to this. I would drink it neat, but I'm not here to tell you what to do with your whiskey. Drink it however you want. Put ice in it, throw it in someone's face, dump it on the floor, pour it down the sink. Doesn't make a difference to me. It's your money, but I wouldn't recommend any of that. Just drink it how you want. Welcome to Whiskey's Journey. My name is Peter Faustino. Today's journey, we're sticking around in Japan. This is going to be my second Japanese whiskey in my Monday series of Japanese whiskeys. Today we're taking a look at Hibiki Suntory Whiskey Japanese Harmony. It's quite a mouthful. So let's go ahead and get this thing poured, nosed, tasted. Let's talk about it a little bit, and then at the very end, we'll give it a score. It's a very awkward bottle, very round, but it's a very beautiful bottle. And we'll get into that in a little bit, the bottle design. Hibiki Harmony Whiskey, Hibiki Japanese Harmony. It's kind of a confusing label. So Hibiki Suntory Whiskey, Japanese Harmony. I don't know if that whole thing needs to be said about the whiskey, or is it just Hibiki? So this is coming in at 43% ABV. It is chill filtered. It's not natural color. It doesn't have an age statement. It's a 750 milliliter bottle coming in at Phoenix, Arizona, around $100. And it is a blended whiskey. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, on the nose, sweet, right off the bat, sweet. Right behind the sweetness, there's a little bit of smoke. And the sweetness that I'm getting is apple and honey. A little bit of light raisin, and I think that might be coming from the sherry cask. And the raisin is more of a golden raisin, not a dark raisin. I get that maltiness in here as well, along with a little bit of cocoa or chocolate. Let's go ahead and get that sip down. All right, that is delicious. Recently, since I've been drinking a lot of peated whiskeys, I'm getting a smoky grilled pineapple note on most of the smoky whiskeys that I'm tasting these days. And I'm wondering if that is just in my mind or if it's what I'm actually getting in the glass. Either way, this is absolutely fantastic. Now that it's sitting on my palate for a little bit, I'm getting a little bit of sourness in the back. It's a good sour, not a bad sour. It just adds to the complexity of this. Let's get that second sip down and see if it changes. On that second sip, the smokiness has faded away just slightly, but we do get a touch of smoke. The finish is crisp and sweet. Now, something that I've noticed about Japanese whiskeys, they seem to be a little bit more refined. And when I say refined, I'm not saying that that refined note is better than bourbon or better than scotch. They just seem to be put together in such a way that they're very fragile. I think that's a better term for it. It seems to be a little bit more fragile. They are refined to a point of fragility. It seems that these would fall apart at any moment, but they are loaded with flavors. And that's what I'm getting from a lot of the Japanese whiskeys. And at this moment, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Adding a little bit of water or ice or putting it in a mixer, you might lose the delicateness of the whiskey itself. Let's get that third sip, by the way, and then we'll go ahead and add some water to this. There it is again, that breath of smoke followed by the sweetness of a pineapple, honey, and apple, and that golden raisin. That is good. Let me go ahead and add water to this. Just because I add water to everything, I kind of want to see what it does. Not a whole lot, maybe 1, 2, 3 little drops, 4 drops. Let this water sit here and do its thing, and we'll talk about the whiskey a little bit. The one thing I've noticed about Japanese whiskey, it's very difficult to get concrete information on the history of what's in the bottle. The majority of the Japanese whiskeys that I have say product of Japan, and they don't really give you much information about what's in it. So I have to rely on some articles and some other YouTubers. And if you guys know anything different, please let me know in the comments down below if any of the information that I'm saying is wrong. It's very hard to double check this stuff. So again, this is a Suntory blended whiskey, and I believe this time we are looking at more of a malt side than we are a grain side. The Toki that I did before was 50-50 malt to grain, and I think this one might be more on the malt side. We're getting Yamazaki, Hakushu, and the Cheetah Distillery whiskeys in this blend. And they're taking them from 5 different cask types. They have the American oak, the Japanese oak, which I believe is pronounced Muzunara oak, and there are some sherry barrels in here. The other stuff is undisclosed, and I'm not really too sure. All I have seen is they said that there's 5 different types of casks. Now, the Japanese Harmony has gone through a couple of iterations. The original one did not have an age statement, and I believe it was a little bit different than the current version. Then they put a 10 and a 17-year-old age statement on here, and then the huge whiskey boom of Japan happened in 2018, depleted stocks, and all of Japanese distilleries basically took off the age statements from their whiskeys Either they had foresight to say, ooh, things are speeding up, let's go ahead and slow down and let's hold on to our stock, or they just ran out of it and decided to keep producing their whiskeys, but taking the age statements out because they didn't have any of their older whiskeys left. And I believe that run was responsible, or partly responsible, for Jim Murray naming Yamazaki 12 the sherry cask finish whiskey of the year. And I believe that happened in 2018. And then there was this huge run on Japanese whiskey. And again, as far as my research goes, I think that's kind of what's going on. But Japanese whiskey in the future has a lot to offer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happening in the next 5 to 10 years with Japanese whiskeys. Now, taking a look at the bottle, all of these little ridges on the side, there are 24 of them as we go around the bottle. I believe it's supposed to represent the 24 hours of the day, along with the 24 different seasons on the Japanese traditional calendar. The Hibiki Harmony was released in 2015, and the blend is anywhere from 10 to 20-year-old whiskeys in here. So with that, let's see what the water has done to this, if anything at all. And I do have to say, I've seen this in the big box stores. I've also seen it in Costco. So it is out there in limited quantities, but you can find it. With the water, I am not getting much of the smoke anymore, but that could just be the time in the glass. After a while, some of that smoke does go away from the peated whiskeys, and that could happen here, but it could also be because of the adding of the water. I still get a little bit of the pineapple sweetness, along with the raisins and the honey, and that slight malty note. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Everything is still there on the taste, just knocked down a level. Me personally, I would not add water to this. I would drink it neat, but I'm not here to tell you what to do with your whiskey. Drink it however you want. Put ice in it, throw it in someone's face, dump it on the floor, pour it down the sink. Doesn't make a difference to me. It's your money, but I wouldn't recommend any of that. Just drink it how you want. The raisin notes are there, the pineapple, the apple, a little bit of malt, a little bit of chocolate. It is a good one. Let's get on to the rating of this. My rating system is out of 5 stars. This is a good, clean, crisp, vibrant whiskey that offers a tremendous amount on the palate. It's wonderful on the nose. You can pick this thing apart for quite a while. And because of the complexity and the fragility of it, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one 3.75 stars. It's a good one, and I would definitely recommend this to anybody. If this is in your market, I would highly recommend picking it up if you have that extra $100. Just laying around, just $100 laying around like most people do. Eesh. Yeah, a couple of words to describe this before I call this good. Delicate, crisp, bright, fragile, dissectable, concentrated. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this. And until the next time, enjoy your journey. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this off camera. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye.